G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Delling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, Peter Dutton is in big trouble in his own seat of Dickson. Now, I've just published an article on the issue, but before I do, I want to show you a quick 10-second video of Peter Dutton where he's attacking independent Ellie Smith in his own electorate. He's over there campaigning in Perth, and he's attacked the Teals over there, but he's attacked Ellie Smith without naming her in his own electorate, but he's factually wrong. He says that her supporters are wearing teal, they're actually wearing maroon. And it shows you that Ellie Smith, independent for Dickson, is obviously living rent-free in Peter Dutton's head. And I'll show you that 10-second video now.
Many people you see in Tom White's electorate or in mine going around in a teal shirt are Greens and members of the Labor Party. That's the formula. It's a giant con job.
Now, that was Peter Dutton yesterday, the 12th of April 2025, over there in Perth, campaigning for Tom White, who's the Liberal Party candidate for the seat of Curtin. He's up against Kate Cheney, who's a community independent there. Peter Dutton couldn't help turn his mind to his own electorate and have a swipe at Ellie Smith without naming her. And that quick 10-second video of Peter Dutton's important because I published an article only a few days ago titled Peter Dutton spends $40,000 to attack independent Ellie Smith with lies. And I published it on the 10th of April. 12th of April, Peter Dutton said what he said in Perth. And I've just published another article in relation to Peter Dutton potentially losing his seat. And there's 3 polls showing that. And I'll read you out that article now. And the article's titled, Peter Dutton set to lose his seat of Dickson. Poll says with Labor to spend another $130,000 in Dickson. And that's published on the 13th of April 2025. And it starts off, Peter Dutton will lose his seat of Dickson, with a new poll finding Labor's Ellie France is ahead of Peter Dutton by 52 to 48 on a 2-party preferred basis. And the Labor Party have their own polling, which they claim shows they're in with a chance of winning, that has motivated them to spend another $130,000 in Dutton's seat of Dickson. The first poll was reported by the New Daily on the 12th of April 2025 and says, the Liberal leader who is vying to be the next Australian Prime Minister won by just 3,363 votes in 2022. A new survey of 854 voters conducted by UComs for the Queensland Conservative Council showed Labor's candidate Ellie France tracking ahead of Dutton. Voters favoured France over Dutton by 52 to 48 on a 2-party preferred basis, the poll found. Undecided voters were asked which candidate they had even a slight leading towards, with 23% favouring France over Dutton 17%. The coalition's nuclear energy policy appeared particularly unpopular with Dickson voters, according to the findings. People will question the poll, given it was conducted by UComs on behalf of the Queensland Conservation Council, who are anti-nuclear. But the poll findings are consistent with Peter Dutton's recent $40,000 splurge attacking community independent Ellie Smith, as per the video in the article. And I'll put a link to that video below this video on YouTube. My article goes on to say, I doubt Ellie Smith's name appeared in either poll as an option for voters, but she has obviously gotten Dutton worried. And as I say in the video, I'm sure the Liberals did their own polling before they spent the $40,000. The poll is also consistent with Liberal Party insiders leaking against Dutton, with leaks generally happening when people know they are on a sinking ship. And now the dam is cracked. I doubt the leak will be the last. Capital Brief reported on the 7th of April 2025. It's a question just about everyone was asking on Friday night after Anthony Albanese phoned ABC Radio to torpedo Peter Dutton's announcement on getting the port of Darwin out of Chinese hands, who had leaked to the Labor campaign that Dutton was on his way to Darwin to announce that he would force China-based company Landbridge to sell the city's port. Was it a journalist travelling on the Dutton campaign who had the embargoed announcement, or was it a rat in the ranks? According to veteran political commentator Nikki Sever on Insiders yesterday, the leak came straight from the Liberal Party headquarters to the Labor camp. If this is the case, the Liberals have a significant problem. But senior Liberals dispute this, saying they know exactly which journalist gave Labor the inside scoop ahead of time. My article goes on to say, the problem with the Liberals claiming the leaker was a journalist and that they know who it is, then why haven't they named the journalist? It's a Liberal lie, I suspect, to cover up the obvious massive crack in the Liberal Party's unity. The Labor Party's own polling. Labor Party claim their own polling says that Peter Dutton is in trouble. Labor will pour an additional $130,000 to the campaign and Peter Dutton's own electorate of Dickson after new internal research found the Brisbane electorate is closer than originally thought. Polling pointing to Dutton losing his seat is also consistent with all the negative reporting about Dutton over the last few weeks regarding his campaign mistakes, which would have an impact on voters, so it's no surprise Dutton is dropping in the polls. The Sydney Morning Herald reported on the 12th of April 2025. In quiet corners of the coalition, discussion has turned instead to whether tension between the leader's office and campaign headquarters has contributed to Dutton's haphazard start to the campaign. In week one, Dutton suggested he'd prefer to live in Kirribilli rather than the Lodge, surprised Liberal Party campaign headquarters and senior coalition ministers with his short-lived concept of holding various referenda, and struggled to explain his plan to slash public servants' jobs. Many of Dutton's colleagues think week two went better. That's despite Dutton dumping a candidate on Sunday, backing down from his work from home edict for public servants on Monday, and losing his first debate against Anthony Albanese on Tuesday, according to the audience. In summary, there is polling conducted by UComs for the Queensland Conservation Council, and polling by Labor pointing to Dutton being in trouble in his seat of Dickson, and almost certainly polling by the Liberals saying the same. Based on three separate polls, Peter Dutton is in trouble retaining his own seat and could be gone in 3 weeks after the election. Now, with the election only 3 weeks away, I've put a couple of links to a couple of relevant articles at the end of the latest article. And one is Peter Dutton perjured himself, trying to get $250,000 compensation. New Four Corners interview shows, and that's from 2022. That's a good article. It shows Peter Dutton saying one thing on Four Corners in 2022, giving a totally different answer to a court in 2001 when he was trying to get $250,000 compensation. And another article is Peter Dutton Jacinta Price and her mother Best Price exposed conspiring to loot millions from Indigenous funding via a school grant, and that's from 2023. That's a good one worth reading again, because they appointed Jacinta Price as the person who's going to cut wastage apparently in government spending. Well, she's a looter herself, and so is Peter Dutton. Now, the political landscape after the election is probably going to be greatly different. We'll probably have a minority government in the lower house, which will be consistent with the minority government we've had in the Senate for years. Neither major parties have the balance of power in the Senate. They've got to go to the crossbenchers or the Greens or the independent parties to get support to get their legislation through. So when they jump up and down saying, oh, we can't risk a hung parliament, we can't risk a minority government, well, we've had a minority government in the Senate for years and our government's been working. So I see it as being a good thing, not a bad thing, because the government should be held to account a lot more than it has been with the uni party and the duopoly, the Labor Liberal duopoly, and doing dirty deals on AUKUS and the National Anti-Corruption Commission, etc. The bottom line to this article is Peter Dutton's in big trouble in his own seat. He seems to admit it by spending an extra $40,000 attacking Ellie Smith and Dickson, and then mentioning her at a press conference, not mentioning her name, trying to defame her, saying, oh, she's part of the Greens, she's part of the Labor, and their supporters actually getting around in teal shirts. Well, it's total dribble. They've got their own candidates in Dickson. Labor's got their own candidate. The Greens have got their own candidate. They're not putting candidates in teal to get around supporting Ellie Smith. And it's not teal anyhow. So Dumbo Dutton got it wrong. It's maroon. That's Ellie Smith's colour. And I've put a picture up a couple of times so you can see her colour of the supporters wearing T-shirts. And for Peter Dutton to be telling a lie like that at a national press conference while he's in Perth says he's very, very worried about his own seat of Dickson. And he'd only be worried if his own polling showed that. And now please do your bit and help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. And please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button. That way you get notified every time I publish a new video. And I'm an independent journalist. I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So I'd be greatly appreciated if you made a donation. You can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out in a big way. Or you can do one-off donations. And the link for the Patreon account or PayPal account are below this video on YouTube and also on my website. And you can go to my website on the donations page. There's other donation options. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.